Hello, I'm Abyax Toycat, and honestly, something really struck me recently. I spoke to a friend who said they'd gotten back into Minecraft, and I realized that when they were describing how they played the game, it was entirely different to the game that I play every single day. And this is an interesting point, isn't it? Because I play Minecraft primarily on a super long-term survival world, and when I'm not, I'm usually playing on some form of challenge. As a result, I don't really experience the same game that most people do, where the primary goal is your first big house, and then the things that go around your house. And so today's video, you might have seen it, was one letter seeds. And so the best one letter seed, if I'm not horrifically mistaken, was R. And so I believe this was the best seed. But this is to my perspective of how I play. How good is the best Minecraft seed? For a single letter, at least, I should say. The best. Because sometimes you want to be lazy. You just want to type in a single letter. Which of those best... that was what Seed Sunday was all about. But which of those seeds is really best for the casual player? Well, let's load up a brand new Minecraft world. Let's put on our coordinates and our days played and everything. But let's just play Minecraft like a normie. Get this, right? I looked into it, and Minecraft actually has a little bit of a guide right here on how to play Minecraft as a normie. They're like, look, you want your house to look good like this? Yeah, you do. Here's what you do. And then they made a fun little guide on the fact that you've got to have things hanging from lampposts, you got to have foliage everywhere, random water features, and as a result, I realized that, you know, this isn't what I would have expected as the best house, but that's because I never built it. Let's give it a try, and let's see if I'm not just someone in a glass house throwing a stone. Speaking of being a glass house throwing a stone, thank you, Dexter! And also thank you, wait, no, sorry, wrong person. My notifications are outdated. Oh, actually, this isn't... Okay, something's gone wrong here. Unless it's a gifted membership that I've just missed. Okay, so I'm now going to throw my chat back up over here. Oh, it was 10 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, Jira. Welcome to all of the new members. Hope you're doing great today, Jira. I'm doing... I've been having a bit of a rough weekend. I just woke up on Friday. You know, actually, chat, I want to tell you all about my life. But let's, you know, normal people don't talk about their life when they play Minecraft. They load into a brand new Minecraft world, they see something beautiful, and they go, but let's just keep running, just in case, you know. Bloop, bloop, bleep, bloop, bloop, bleep, bleep, bloop, 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 bloop. So yeah, normal people love vibrant visuals. It's like, it's the go-to. I find in my long-term world, there are more downsides than upsides, but like the biggest upside you need to have is that Minecraft looks pretty. Everything else is irrelevant. Why would anyone else want to be normal? Talk about boring. There is a really interesting point about like, in a desire to become normal, you can become very boring. In a desire to become palatable to everyone, you can become palatable to no one. You're a big sound stuffy, says James Weston. By the way, good to see you, Kat. I hope you are doing wonderfully today. It was, okay, so first of all, it's really laggy right now. This is a 1.20, problem. When you first load in chunks, it takes a really long time for the game to, like, delag. You often have to fully restart the game. I don't know why this is, but just keep this in mind if you play on the PC. They've entirely moved the architecture without, like, really testing it too much. So there's a save transfer system, but it doesn't work, and if you leave out of it, it will just delete your worlds forever. There's so many dumb little issues. Also, just woke up on Friday. What happened to Wednesday and Thursday? Yeah, I just woke up on Friday. Exactly. You know, Wednesday and Thursday are in the future, Jeff Shannon. I'm in fact a normal person. I love vibrant visuals. Yeah, vibrant visuals, to me, it's like, ooh, it's a big set of trade-offs and downsides. I think it was designed to be pure upside, no downside. So this sucks. What is wrong with my Minecraft right now? I feel like we're playing, I'm convinced this update was an accident. So yeah, they made a full set of tools that, okay, so I'll just turn down my deferred render distance and we'll see if that makes it better. It's still bad. Oh. Chat. Okay, I think we'll just restart Minecraft. It sucks that you have to do this, but the GDK version of Minecraft, I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know enough to understand that it kind of just hurts to play. I just got Java today. It's a good version, but it's so laggy. Real game looking like 20 FPS. So what's funny is because these streams, I stream in 60 FPS, but most of you will be watching in 30. You probably wouldn't actually notice 20 versus 30. Oh god, it sucks. Everything's just slow and broken. And so we'll see if we can't do something about this. So we'll go into our video settings and we'll do what the standard Minecraft player does. And so we'll just turn our render distance down to 8 chunks. As you can see, the game is not fixed by that. So it's not a render distance issue. It is a RAM issue, but apparently lowering your render distance does not fix it. Laggy Bedrock is a sad sight. Yeah, the one point of this game is not to be laggy. It's meant to be optimized. Okay, so yeah, it just runs like it is just running bad. Okay, turn down anti-aliasing. That's a good idea. That could be demanding on my video card. Maybe they've upped the intensity of it. So let's also turn down our anti-aliasing. If you can, is that still a separate setting now that Vibrant Visuals exists? It's not, so it'll be in Vibrant Visuals. We'll just turn some stuff from ultra down to high. Reflections, we'll turn them down to medium. Who cares about reflections? Resolution, deferred, that's everything. Okay. If it doesn't work now, it will never work. Okay, it will never work. Why is this so broken? Chat. So an update came out this last Tuesday for anyone who's watching this in the future or who doesn't follow their Minecraft news. And it, it fixed some bugs. And it might have introduced some because, if they fix all the bugs, then, there's not going to be work for them soon. So it's really important that as well as fixing bugs, they introduce a couple at the same time. It might be the Vibrant Visuals. Yeah, I guess we'll do what a normal person does, and we'll play with a texture pack instead then. Well, this is the fun, isn't it? We're getting to experience... because I play on a PC that is my workstation, I get to usually experience Minecraft on a pretty, I get to experience, decent Minecraft. But let's turn on, let's find the most, generic texture pack we own. Realism Reimagined. Oh yeah, people love realism. Realism Craft 2.2. People do love that too. But I think we'll go for simple, honestly, the natural texture pack. It's been a few years. Let's play Minecraft naturally, because natural looks better than Vibrant Visuals anyway, I'm sure. So, I guess you have to start a Java world now. I wonder if this seed is the same on Java. I really do. Okay, so chat. It is Vibrant Visuals, but it's not 100% better. No! What's wrong with Minecraft? Okay, so I guess Minecraft just isn't a functional game anymore. Okay, you know what? There's a reason Minecraft made a backup version of the game, and it's for moments like this. So let's load it up. Chat, as a normal person, I'm gonna say, oh, I don't know about that Minecraft version. I rather than playing the one with the grass block that's 2D, I'm gonna play the one with the grass block that's 3D instead. Settings, improved input response, turn it off. Do you think it's improved input response? That doesn't make too much sense to me. Okay, so chat, let's play some Minecraft. Okay, so the seed we want to use is R. It's the best single letter seed. And it should be all the same besides the village, which shouldn't be there. So, this is what normal people do. We're going to play with no experiments on. We're going to play default Minecraft. And my goal isn't to beat the game today. Get this right. Beating Minecraft, nah. You play the game for 30 hours before you even consider beating it. And you play on a bit of a janky version of the game that was made in a language that has long since died. Made by a man who has some... sometimes questionable, views on the world around him. And you play the version of the game because you love it, and it's the version you played on your friend's laptop in 2012. The mobs have a little bit of a weird way that they run away from you, but it's okay. You love it nonetheless. And now let's go ahead and let's make ourselves a better house. So with that said, let's move this over here so I can see better. I was having the same problems for the past 2 days. It was the only thing that seemed to fix it. Thank you, Chris Smith. I'll give it a try after this. That is a great idea. Okay, so now let's jump up. Are we ready for this? Yeah, we got a perfect clearing over here. Oh, it's a savannah village. That is wild that there happens to be a village in almost the same spot. So today's video, the one about one-letter seeds, was specifically made for Bedrock. Bedrock and Java seeds are the same, besides structure generation. But it's always wild when you see the same structure in the same place. Because it means it's a coincidence. It's not like, oh yeah, they happen to read the same code. They have it's like different languages, right? I feel like you're being really mean to me, says Polly. You know, if the shoe fits. Also, I love this. I love this. I get, how is it, you know, we should rename this to Bedrock player continuously criticizes Java. How is it that we criticize Bedrock for being the broken game again? Like, oh yeah, this is normal. This is fine. This is standard stuff. Yeah, it's totally great. What's your favorite biome? Great question. I don't have a great answer. Oh, I love that there's a ruined portal over there. So no. I'm playing me Minecraft right now, not real Minecraft. Normal Minecraft is like, oh, there's a village here. That's nice. I will look at that village from afar, from my house, which I will create over here. So we go and create ourselves a normal house. I'm going to follow the Minecraft tutorial on how to do this. So, again, I'm a little out of practice, so let's just quickly read this right now. So what we want to do is we want to... I guess, actually, it looks like it's a video. Oh, it's a video on YouTube. Oh, that's from Avomat. Wait, they just linked a random YouTube video? Yeah, they did. I don't know who Avomats is. But, so we watch a YouTube tutorial on how to build our house. As you can see, what we're meant to do, according to, again, this is Minecraft.net. We want to take some cobblestone, some oaks, some planks, and a piece of glass or two. And then at the end of the video, it should look like this. If we do it right. Oh, yeah. So, we could start simple and then turn into this. And because my name starts with an A, this skin will be relevant there too. Okay, so let's get back into it. So I'm going to start by... Actually, you know, rather than chopping down the tree just to make my house, I'll build my house around the tree. And then I won't have to move these logs. Boom, look at me, super smart and clever. Then we'll chop down this tree, and we'll do the same. Java is broken in fun and quirky ways. Bedrock is broken in destructive and frustrating ways. I do feel as though mostly Bedrock isn't actually broken anymore. Like, the really wild things are like the 1 in 1,000s. It's the... I do think, though, Bedrock was crafted with less love and care. And I think there's just an inevitability of that. I think, actually, you know, I'm meant to be playing... Okay, so normal gamers, what they do all day is they sit around all day talking about AAA companies and how they've ruined gaming with their practices and all that. So we want to have some stone here, and then a window here, and then there'll be a door here, and then stone, 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 window, and then this is where the next pillar goes. Then the house should be a little bit longer than it is deep, so we'll have a pillar over here too. And then we'll have a pillar go over there. Yep, perfect, chat. Look at this. This house is going to come together beautifully. Bedrock stopped being a broken game when they finally aligned the hotbar. Yeah, that was the moment Bedrock became big and beautiful, in my opinion. No, yeah, so chat, today I was very excited to play some skygloo. I had a very long, super long stream planned. But, I don't know what happened. I don't know if I... You know, actually, yeah, we had plans, and I've just ended up, like... I have, like, 45 minutes in a row where I can do something before my body's like, I just need to take a really long nap or shut myself in a dark room for a bit. And so I've been doing normal stuff, just, you know, regretting life because of it. Let's build a Walmart next, says the Noodle Man. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to play like a normal player where they go, oh, I've got some oak. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself a stone axe because I love me some stone axes. Yeah, I guess now I am making fun of you, Polly. Again, not all standard Minecraft players are northern. Just some of them. Then we'll make ourselves a wooden pickaxe, and then, you know what? We'll make ourselves a wooden shovel too. You never know when you're going to need it. Chat, this is the thing. I always make fun of wooden shovels, but when you need them, you need them. Yeah, these lollipop trees are the worst. Yeah, they're bad, but they also do provide a lot of wood. It's more work, but more return. So later, I think when you have like a netherite axe, you hate them. But in the early game, when you're basically, most of your time is just hitting the blocks anyway, I think it's not so bad. That's my crazy take on these trees. I don't love them, but I actually don't hate them either. Okay, so we got plenty of logs, but let's get plenty more logs. Can you download my Minecraft map? It's a great idea, Time Wolf 41. So, yeah, I woke up just a little bit sick, and I was like, okay, my big plan, my next skygloo episode, I think is going to be a long one. I want to place all of the 19,000 blocks for my pathway all at once. Or at least I want to commit to saying if I don't place them all at once, I'm going to go on a giant trident journey. But I think that this is the weird thing. I think playing hardcore Minecraft while you're impaired is a dangerous thing. It's like, I wouldn't drunkenly drive. I would drunkenly walk anywhere. I have drunkenly walked across London, but I wouldn't drunkenly drive. That's not just, you know, ignoring the selfish. It's like, you know, you don't want to damage your car, and you know you're more likely to if you're in a hurry. So yeah, I as a result realized I should push that stream away. And so instead I'll tell you about what the last few days have been like. Because I have been, again, it's crazy. I woke up like sick on the day that I had a big Halloween party planned. And chat, I mentioned this recently. I mentioned this on stream. Some of you might even recall. You were probably there if you're a regular here. But I was like, man, hosting is like such a socially draining activity. You know, you have to put so much into it, really, at least, you know, to me. And maybe some people are natural born hosts and they love the hosting. But to me, it's a big chore. Okay, I got a message that was from Deliveroo. Okay, it just says, reopen the app, don't let your delivery food slip away. I have not opened the app in a few days and they're missing me. Yeah, quadruple check if you're bridging in the right direction. Thank you, Dasha. Yeah, to place that many blocks, I really am going to check. I'm also going to check the biomes between me and it to make sure that if I really got, you know, either lazy or ran out of blocks or miscalculated something, I could make the trident with Riptide and it wouldn't be a dumb game-ruining decision. So those are the things I want to check, basically. Because again, now skygloo is my longest-lasting hardcore world, chat. Can you believe it? I don't know if you can believe it, but you know it's true, whether you believe it or not. Like many things. So I'm gonna move my tools over there now. I think. Actually, wait. We can do this the Java way. Look, hey, look at that. You can do that on Bedrock now, as of this recent update. But it's a very Java-coded piece of behavior, if you ask me. Anyway, I'm gonna chop this down now, and it'll be good. Anyway, so chat, yeah, I was mentioning it, and I was like, but thankfully, now that, like, you know, thankfully that's like a young, you know, not a young person problem, but it's like oh yeah, when your friends are, like, a little immature, you know, like, it's really easy to think, oh, I just won't show up because why would I? You know, and, you know, you kind of learn the basic communication strategies to avoid it. And so I was like, okay, I got this nailed down, I've messaged everyone, I've kept everything up to date. And it was a bit of a bummer because a lot of my, like, longest time friends didn't confirm or deny early on. But again, one of the skills I picked up is like, okay, if you're not saying anything about it, that's a really impolite no, but it's a no. You know, you don't plan for them to be there if they say something in the day or two before, kind of on them. But it's, you know, like, so I made a lot of plans, and then, you know, like a lot of things happened, and it was I wanna just rant, chat. This isn't a productive rant. This isn't a, it's not gonna help anyone or make it, but I just I need to get this off my chest to someone, and internet, you are my favorite therapist, who are not licensed and probably never will be. So, yeah, basically I decided to I woke up and I was like, okay, I've got some big catering, you know, needs to do today, because, like, I basically, you know, in my mind, the perfect number of people to be around usually is, like, 4 to 6, and if it's a party, it's, like, 10 to 12, maybe at the max, because that basically fractures into 2 or 3 groups. Some people love the idea of a party where it's, like, a buffet of people. It's like there's more people at this party than you could ever know if you wanted to. But not to me. I feel like, you know, that's like a healthy max. And so I you know, basically I sent out some invites. About 10 people said yeah. And life was good. And then, like, you know, we had some, like, cancellations, and that's totally fine. I think if you say with enough time in advance. But I want to mention this, chat, because I think it's a I feel like I need, okay, so I think I need more cobblestone. Let's make myself let's put my crafting table down, and let's get a stone. Oh, I need to make a bed. Actually, I don't need to make a bed. Let's be real. I can make as much or as little bed as I like. Okay, so chat. Yeah, I had this, like, fluctuation in who was coming, because a lot of people were like, oh yeah, last minute cancellation. That's, like, kind of bad form. And then a couple of people were like, last minute, like, oh yeah, definitely can make it now, actually. And it was like, I went from like this being like 7 people hanging out, like a chill gathering, to like this is 12 people, none of whom are my closest friends. But we're good. We're gonna make this happen. It's gonna be wonderful. It took some extra like, you know, work to get done. I had to go to a few places. But I was like, but again, it will be fun. It will be a big thing. And yeah, basically at the very like last minute, like a few people were like, actually, I got the message like via someone else, like not even a direct message about like, oh, actually, I don't think that I'll be able to come. I just got some messages that were like, yeah, actually, I'm gonna be tired that day. So sorry about that. It was like, oh, rough. And yeah, it was like to wake up sick and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pull through. I'm gonna do this, and then like have the reverse happen. I was like, oh, and that's why hosting sucks. You can never ever be like, I am doing a thing for people, because then the moment that, you know, like people, you know, like don't follow through on that, you're gonna be like, you take it personally. You know, if you're sensitive to that sort of thing, it's like, oh yeah, it sucks when people are sucking. So yeah, it ended up being like 3 separate groups of people coming at 3 separate points of time. It genuinely worked out. I had a good enough evening, but I was like, man, I stressed a lot for what I did not need to. And the lesson is, you know, have fewer friends. That's the lesson, chat. It's the only lesson you should take out from this. But no, it was I think it's like okay, I'm getting out of it. You are gonna stay in there, please. I'm gonna just go back to my house. I'm gonna place down a red bed. It's gonna be nice. Oh, there's water here. It's such basic looking water. Wow, look at the Java water. Can't believe it looks like this. Also, get the coal. Please get the coal. Why do I need the coal though? If I've got a bed, why would I need coal? You know, it doesn't make sense, is what. So let's go to bed right here. Let's sleep in it. You can't move your hotbar while you're sleeping, which is fun. Then let's wake up, eat some bread. Then let's make these big old pillars and get some cobblestone out to go in between it. So again, I'm following the before tutorial first, chat. You know, this is how people make their houses. I have been reliably informed. What is? Oh, there he is. This is just how people make their houses, and so I must make their houses like them. So this is at least 2 tools, so it's going to look like this. And then it's going to go over here, where it's going to look like, presumably, this. Also, I'm angry on your behalf. That's it. Yeah, but also, it's like, this is why neutral spaces are good, right? There's no, like, preparation to go to a restaurant or go to a pub or whatever. So you either have your place, like, prepared for it all the time, which is a valid choice too, or you say like, oh yeah, this is I guess some of the problem. I only host my birthday and Xmas because my house is the biggest out of any of my friends, but I have 6 to 8 friends I invite. We are having Friendsgiving, but I will be attending just for the food. That sounds like a good reason to attend if you ask me. Okay, so I need to eat some real food soon. I don't even know how to eat real food right now. Oh, I don't want to eat raw pork chops. I think I'll go off to the village. I'll chop down some melons. And then I'll come back to the place, get some more cobblestone and some more coal. Just for that one guy. Mr. Coalman, don't worry. I'm going to make you feel very happy. But yeah, I think I use double doors so I can... One sec. Anyway, yeah, chat. So I want to tell you about my story though. It's unrelated to the Halloween thing, but I think it might be like one of the most stressful. Again, it could happen for anything. Events that happen. So on Friday, chat, I had to get to a specific place to pick up a very large baked good. I had a ludicrously large croissant. I should actually share it. I'm amazed to say, by the way, the very, very large croissant, very, very impressive. But yeah, so I had to get to a couple of places to pick up a couple of things, and one of those places was a bakery, which is, it's not even like super far. It's like a mile away or something. It's but yeah, there's this bakery in a very usually accessible part of London. But I left the house at like 1, and I was gonna be there at like 3. Had a little bit of a delay here or there. It's gonna be like 3:30. But then, chat, I wanna I was thinking about this recently, because if you live in like a really hot country, the cars don't actually bother having they don't bother having heat in them. If you live in Southeast Asia, the temperature never gets cold enough that you would need heat. When's the next round review? 2025. Dan the man, thank you for asking. No, I've asked people to send me their realms, and now I'm gonna try and pick a free day to do it. It's gonna be fun. That's supposed to be a single square of water to irrigate a farm. It's gonna be great. My beautiful thing. So chat, I want to tell you this story because it's the most ridiculous thing. But you know, like cars in some parts of the world don't need heat because everyone there. And I was thinking, like, honestly, if you live in the desert, your car having windscreen wipers is kind of this like fun extra rather than a necessity. And the reason I say that is because I was driving, you know, desperately trying to get this large baked good. It was a croissant this big. I'm not joking. It was 3 times the size of my head, chat. It was amazing. But I had to go pick up this giant croissant. And so while I was going to fetch it, right, while I was on my little journey, should I make myself some copper actually? You know, I can make some copper armor. I hear normal people love copper. Let's get ourselves some copper. Let's do it. Anyway, so I realized that like in the UK, wipers are like, you won't be able to drive a third of the time. And the reason I say that is because one time recently, my wipers wouldn't work until I turned the car off and on again. It was really weird. It was kind of spooky. And I was like, why? How does that happen? But okay, thank God it only happened once. So chat, on Friday, on Halloween, as I'm like stressing to get around the place, as I'm driving through an area of London I've never really been to before, the wipers on the windscreen wipers, the things that wipe the rain out, they don't turn on. And this is a problem, right? Because I am driving, and, you know, to drive, usually it's recommended you can see out the windscreen. It's, like, extra horrifying to me, you know? Like, it's probably horrifying to all the people that I was driving past. But it was horrifying to me, too, because I've got this big, like, fear of being blind. And so to drive this big piece of machinery while I cannot see, not fun at all. Gotta say, not my favorite time. And so, yeah, there was this funny thing, though, because, like, in London, there's not really great opportunities to park. If you're on, like, the major thoroughfares, it actively says not even just don't park on the side of the road, which is standard. It's you cannot stop here. If you stop here to let out a passenger, you will get fined heavily. And so, you know, super big problem. What am I gonna do if I'm not allowed to, you know, like park the car anywhere, and also it is unable to wipe, and there's like kind of a light drizzle going on? Well, chat, I'm glad you asked. I do the very reasonable thing, and I drive a car, and every single time there's a red light, I have to get out of the car, and I manually wipe it myself. I tried everything to get them going again. I turned the car off. I turned the wipers all the way off, all the way on. I took it to an industrial estate where I sat in the very illegal middle of the road, hoping no one would come after me. A lorry did come after me. Eventually, I had to move. But yeah, I've got to say, pro tip: you want to have wipers in your car. You need them. You might even say. I'm gonna quickly look at this Minecraft house that I'm trying to build here. Okay, so after the top of the roof, there's like a big one of these things going across. So I'll just put dirt here. There's a big beam going across here. And then we got like a little attic that goes on top of that. Actually, I guess this probably goes up a little bit more. And then the attic is... So then the stairs start here. This is a stairs. And then that means that this is all planks. So planks here. All the way over to here. And then planks here, etc. Were you using your 4-way flashes too? Yeah, so I didn't actually. No, because honestly, I was like, that's worse. If you just look like you're a. So what I genuinely could see, right? I think if you're in the dark, you can't see anything, and you'll just die if you do that. But in the city, I could see well. It was just all refracted.
I was wondering if you'd do a stream of No, I'm Not a Human in the future. Your commentary would be a good laugh.
Okay, you want me to do a stream of No, I'm Not a Human in the future? Oh, is that a game you're recommending? That's not just your... Okay, I'm going to search up No, I'm Not a Human. It's a game on Steam. It's a horror visual novel. I don't care. Visual novels? Okay, you know, like, horror's just really not my genre. It's it's like how some people would say, oh, I don't get, like, sci-fi or whatever, because why do I care what's happening in a fake space future? I don't care about the midichlorians or whatever else. Was it a very inaccessible part of town? Maybe a Metro Rider walk would have been so special. Yeah, it was only because I needed the car to go to Costco, actually, that I had it. I was like cursing myself. I was like, you never get on the train and then something bad happens to you. Never in the UK's history have you gone on a train and something bad has happened. Sorry, I was legitimately thinking that, and it was apparently very bad timing for that, because something very bad did happen on a train in the UK after that. But I was genuinely thinking to myself, like, yeah, when you're on a train, the worst thing that happens, second worst thing that happens apparently now, but the second worst thing that can happen is like, oh, the train gets delayed, and you sit there for 5 minutes on your phone being all casual. Worst thing that happens in your car is, oh no, all of a sudden it's rained and I can't wipe the rain away, so now I'm not allowed to see. And again, I was so lucky it was a bright city, it's 20 miles per hour, so it's super slow, there's no serious maneuvers or speed or anything else. But yeah, I was like, this is a dangerous activity. I mean, I guess it's my dangerous activity. I guess I'm the one going through this. So I'm now going to do the same. Maybe I'm actually the big monster for like... the normal thing to do is to say, oh yeah, well, I guess my wipers aren't working. Guess the car stays here now, and I'll just pay whatever fine it gets. But yeah. One time on a train, the brakes caught on fire. Yeah, that's a sign the train is going at the correct speed. Or that it wants to stop going at the correct speed. Or that the correct... That's a sign that the train is slowing down correctly, I guess. So I'm going to use jungle logs. I think that's what the build uses there. I don't like that you only get 4 stairs for each log, but let's use them anyway. Let's see what they look like. So there's stairs here, then there's stairs there, and then there's stairs over here, and then there's stairs up there. I'm not going to be able to reach it probably, but let's try anyway. Chat, what do you think of my stairs? Do you think these are good? Trains is a touchy subject in the UK right now. Yeah, it actually is. I don't... Okay. I don't get it. As someone, you know, like, in the UK, trains are a very touchy subject. We just had a train stabbing, and the reason it is touchy is because it was widely suspected. You know, like, you know in America, there's the, something bad happens. Oh, God. Hope it was, insert people who fit your stereotype of things here. You know, if you really hate guns, you want it to be a white redneck, and you can make your point about, oh, I think that's actually the... I guess you wouldn't be saying it in a redneck voice, but you want it to be someone who is, you know, like, who is using the gun for no good. Whereas if you're on the other side, you want it to be like someone so you can vilify. You know, everyone wants it to be someone to support their political aims, because people's lives mean nothing to people if they can't use it to advance their own causes. So in the UK, there was a stabbing on a train, and people were immediately like, oh yeah, well, you know, let's, who's this gonna be? A lot of suspicion, because we're going for a bit of a, you know, the European anti-immigration wave is happening here in the UK right now. And so, a lot of people's immediate thoughts are like, oh no, what's it gonna be? And, yeah, so a lot of people are like very touchy about it, being like, oh yeah, well, this is clearly, if we had better immigration policy here, all these people wouldn't have died. But all those people are missing the idea that actually it's like, no, they're people who are born in the UK. And, you know, like, that's a whole different argument, but that's not one that you could fix. You could limit everyone coming into the UK. You could say, you're not allowed to, you know, like, enter this country unless you were already born here. And then the terror attack still happens, right? Which is fascinating to me. Oh, sorry, it's not a terror attack. I'm using the wrong word. The act of terror, the act of causing terror for non-terror reasons. I don't know what you want to call that. Isn't it interesting, like, what really is terrorism once you boil it down? Like, you know, most of the time you do anything bad, you're trying to, you know, like, what's like the sane reason? What's the non-terror reason to kill a bunch of people? I really don't know. Okay, we're gonna make ourselves a copper chest plate now, chat. Because I love me a copper chest plate. Look at me, I'm doing great. Honestly, Minecraft's a very therapeutic game. If your only goal is build a house, it's like, what am I going to do today? I'll use my stone pickaxe to mine some stone. This is nice. I could do this for a few hours. I think at the end of the few hours, I might feel bad. I'd be like, I could have done more. I could be in the nether right now. But so far, this is great, chat. I'm loving this a lot. So, guys, how do you answer people in here? If I press a comment, it says report or block. You just do @ and then their username, Mr. Kooky. Time to go to the Ender Dragon now. Should we go to the Ender Dragon and then finish the house? Do you think that makes more sense? How can I use this tragedy to win debates? Yeah, it's well, it's interesting because humans are very anecdotally driven creatures, right? And so I will accuse people of all sorts of this. But genuinely, people will see, you know, like Elon Musk and be like, well, that is proof that one person should not have all that money. Therefore, all the problems in society are coming from this guy. But, like, actually, that's, like, a very, what's the word, like, illiberal, like, you know, but in the, like, actual sense of the word, like, that is an argument against people having rights. But then also, conversely, like, I don't know, we generally don't think that you should by force be told what you can and cannot do. But ignoring the fact that we all agree you shouldn't murder someone, we also all, as a society at least, there is a broad consensus that you are allowed to heavily demotivate people from smoking with taxes, and then use that money to fund campaigns telling them not to smoke, which is interesting because, you know, actually, you know, that makes society a lot more. That makes the world a slightly better place to be in, because secondhand smoke sucks. Like, even if it's not dangerous, it's just like not pleasant to have cigarettes blown into your face, right? Also, dude, please promote me. You know, Nightmare MC, shout out. I'm promoting you. How do you feel about your promotion that you are getting? I think that's an interesting thing, right? In general, I tend to focus on the very chill side of chat. But like sometimes I think people get in their head like, oh yeah, well, here's the deal. Toycat is only responding to things, you know, like people that say, you know, nice or constructive things for the benefit of him as a streamer. And I want to say, like, you know, actually, yeah, but think about why that is. It's because I would like it if my stream were more positive for the people who are most likely to interact with it. Whereas if your only interaction with my stream is to ask for something from me, then even if I give it to you, that's still not going to be... That's a worse outcome for me. And maybe it's a better outcome for you. But I mean, I feel like we can test and prove that point all day. But I don't even think it's a great outcome for you if it's like, oh yeah, Mr. Streamer with 200 views said my name. And so now I feel good and everyone will love me and go to my channel till the end of time. It's like, I don't know if that works how you think it does. Whereas, you know, the actual, if that feeling is what you need most in the world, it's really easy. Like, an interesting, like, lesson for life is if you try to be helpful for people. Like, when you're really young, people will take advantage of that, for sure. Like, you know, like, if you were to offer to do someone's homework, they wouldn't love you for it. They would probably ask you to do more homework. You know, but if you were like, oh yeah, I can do your homework. By the way, while I'm here, now that I have your attention, here is something, you know, if you could, I would like it. And then that way they know, like, oh, this is something they want from me. If I would like more from them, then, you know, like, this is like human exchange, and it feels like weird when you really word it out like that. But it is a thing that people do. Also, billion-dollar company can't make a reply feature, SMH. Oh, I don't think the billion-dollar company wants a reply feature. Like, I don't want a reply feature in chat. I don't want you to be able to reply to other people. I don't want this to be like a forum. I would rather, if you want to use a forum, like the Reddit exists, or Discord if you're modern. But I feel like actively you actually don't want that. I think I'm going to use the planks here to make some sticks. And I'm going to make myself... I don't have any stone, chat. Oh, and I can't get stone because I used all my stone to make my house. Oh, this is terrible. Why did I let this happen? Maybe that's a sign that I should go and upgrade my pickaxe to get an iron one, chat. Should we go crazy? Should we go do that? Let's do it. I've had a great day today. Got lots of housework done. It felt so refreshing. Even had a nice chat with one of my neighbors. That is good. Yeah, being friends with your neighbors is important. My neighbor exclusively communicates with me through yelling weird things out of their windows. Your Discord's a bit weird. I recently left. Oh yeah, I cannot stress enough how, like, public Discords are one of the hardest places to, like, get good conversation rolling. I think the same problem exists with, like, Reddits. I think you need really good moderation for communities to exist. But you know, it's the same. Like, I am too ideological to be able to like moderate a lot of stuff myself, in the sense that like you basically have to say like, look, the correct viewpoint is everyone has a right to talk and blah 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 blah, but actually, no, not here. You have a right to go and share your weird views somewhere else. You like, you know, like, and I don't mean like, oh, you've got some weird political view. I don't. It's like, no. You don't have the right to talk about how much you love feet here. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to do. This isn't on my Discord or anything, but like, when I first set up a Discord, everyone was like, "You need a Discord, Toy Cat," and I was like, "Okay, I'll set up a Discord. I'll set up some people I trust," and then I just left it. And that is the worst mistake you can make. You can't just leave a community, because every community needs to be like guided in some direction. And so I, you know, anyway, I made a mistake, and it made me realize that, like, yeah, my real world view of like, you shouldn't tell people what to do, it doesn't apply to your private space, right? Like, I don't want to tell people what to do in my house, but also, you know, if everyone takes their shoes off and one person doesn't, I'm going to feel a bit offended. So I should say, take off your shoes if I believe that that is something that would upset me, right? I think that's the weird thing about, you know, when we talk about like laws in society, it gets really abstract because there's so many people. But actually, it's trying to just make up rules that everyone is comfortable living by together. If you don't like... I've had a horrible weekend because I had an infected tooth with exposed nerves. Oh. Man. I feel... I don't even know what it is. Every dentist says it's perfectly fine. It must be like phantom pain. I feel like one of my teeth is like a nerve that's exposed or something like that. And I feel like intensely like, oh. But I think I've just imagined some pain in my mouth as being exposed. It sounds like it's absolutely terrible. Am I the only one who hates new villages? Getting infinite free food and bread. Yeah, it is a very interesting decision that Mojang went for there. Okay, look at this. We're upgrading to the Stone Axe now, chat. We're living in the future now. Also, 9 damage? This does more than a Netherite sword? Honestly? That's nuts. I've never even realized just how crazy powerful the stone pickaxe actually is. Okay, so I need to get some water, chat, and I need to get that water into that cave over there, because otherwise I can't go down into it. There aren't any hay bales in this village, but I could probably just make a hay bale, actually. Let's take some wheat. Let's make a hay bale. It should have grown at least a little bit. Okay, let's go for it. Yeah, but yeah, it's ultimately like, yeah, there are lots of things that make people comfortable or uncomfortable, and it's kind of dumb, really, how different our list is. But that is why, you know, even though it's like perfectly normal, you know, it's interesting. Like, oh, there's just hay bales here. I didn't think there were hay bales here, chat. I feel like an idiot trying to get wheat the old way. But yeah, I kind of agree with what you're saying. Like, isn't it crazy I can just walk into a village and come out with food, but also damage reduction, but also beds, but also iron at the same time? Isn't that actually kind of bonkers ridiculous? But yeah, I think that when you really get into the concept of moderation, or the concept of any of that, it's like, I don't like any of it. And so I'm the wrong person to run a community. Okay, so, as a result. Okay, I'm going to go in, chat, and I have to not die right now. Oh, I didn't die. That's the good news. The bad news is there's a spider spawner over there, so I'm going to run away from it. That is a skeleton. I'm going to use my Netherite sword to get him. Look at that, chat. 2 hits. 2 hits. Okay, you know, on Bedrock, we're like, oh, please, sir, can we have some healing? And on Java, they give you a Netherite sword if you have 3 cobblestone and 2 sticks. It's more than a Netherite sword, really. What a ridiculous weapon. Okay, so check for a bucket. Yeah, I'm hoping to find a bucket. I guess I could have found a bucket in the Savannah Village's houses. That's technically possible. Yeah, I'm coming in looking for some iron. I'm gonna make some more torches. I hear like a baby zombie somewhere. I don't know that the baby zombie knows where I am. I'm still gonna be cautious about it though. I think I'm a bit too high up for finding iron. Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. Found some iron, chat. So I'm going to use this to make myself some better tools. Because copper is for armor, iron is for tools. I can make an iron axe, an iron sword. I can make everything iron. Java is nonsensical. You hear that, chat? He says he hates Cat, Chantel, and I. Very funny, Dasher. I enjoy it. Yeah, it is like the hardest job to work out that stuff. It's what like a lot of people immediately jump to like I hate the police, and it's like, man, you don't like ignoring the fact that a lot of policing rules come from the government and then your policing department, right? You do have some amount of like what you can exercise yourself as a police officer, and then it's like, but you have to work out within an impossible set of constraints like what to do here, not just to what your sense of right and wrong is, but to the victim and to the perpetrator's sense of right and wrong. Because a lot of people who perpetrate crimes don't think they've perpetrated crimes. And that's really tricky. A lot of people who perpetrate crimes know they perpetrate crimes and don't believe in policing and might actively come at you if you try to come at them. You know, policing by consent is a powerful concept, but, you know, it's whatever it is. Anyway, so, chat. We're playing Minecraft like a normal person, and normal people don't chat about why moderation is hard. But yeah, if you want, I think the Discord is a perfectly great place these days, chat. I think like any place, if you deliberately put yourself in a weird situation, you can find yourself in a weird situation. If you... oh, okay. Oh, I'm not waiting long enough, chat. My Neverite sword has to charge. Okay, I got that done. I got this done. Look at this, though. I'm just shredding every enemy to pieces. It's like a spear, but it's a different type of weapon. But entirely. Okay, so I'm going to mine the rest of the iron here. I think I've got more iron than I need. But if you're down in an abandoned mine shaft, then why not? So yeah, I can't say I'm the best internet policeman. I definitely have biases. I think that's genuinely, this is the hardest thing, that no one will concede about themselves, only about other people. The most important thing about biases is understanding them. And you don't even have to necessarily correct for them, but like to know they are there when you're trying to be unbiased is better than trying to say that you are always unbiased. It's a really, really, you know, hard thing to do, but it's what you gotta do in the world. So like, again, I think that, okay, so let me tell you about one of the, like early on, chat, for some reason, people would always try to, you know, like involve me in some Discord drama. Because again, I made a Discord that was just like, look, here's a public space if you want to talk about Minecraft or IBX Toy Cat related stuff. And so there would be dramas like, okay, someone on the server broke up with a girl, and now the girl, they don't want to be on the same server together. And it's like, okay, one of you leaves. That's not a server problem. That's your couple's problem. Then there's a problem of like, okay, so this person like had to go through a whole process. They had to something, change their name, blah, 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 to get away from like this thing. So like, okay, can you in exchange for that? Blah, blah, blah. There's all sorts of like just weird things that were always happening, and it was always like, this isn't a, you know, like you don't go to speak to the policeman because you've got a concern that your neighbor might be saying mean things about you behind your back or whatever it is. And I think that's an interesting like bias we have about when do you even need to involve authority. For a lot of people, it is their default instinct. Like, okay, we have a problem. Let's go somewhere and arbitrate this. But actually, the whole world doesn't work when everyone does that. Bringing personal IRL stuff to a Discord server is childish behavior. Yeah, exactly. It was. I do think like it's the reality of, so there's like a 16. Is it 16 plus policy on Discord or is it 13 plus? It's the reality of like, basically, I think the correct way to deal with that is be like, oh, you've got some petty real life drama going on here. You are not actually over 16. Sorry, that's just not the case here. I think there's a funny thing, like, you know, because even on that, right, my attitude is always kind of like, yeah, you really should not be, you know, like, if a website has an age restriction, then you should not be on that website with that age restriction. But also, there's kind of a concession that, like, look, every single one of us was on the internet at some point before we were meant to be, right? So instead, the actual rule is not you can't be. We're not going to investigate you. We're not going to, you know, we're not going to look into your personal life to find out if you're under 16. 13 is it? 13 plus. Like, so we're not going to look into your history to find out if you're under 16. I think our server is 16, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not going to like stalk you to find out if you're under 16. But if you say, you know, like the key rule is you if you say it, then now it is public information and we have to deal with it. In the same way that, like, look, I think that, like, people who steal trains, you know, people who get on a train without paying, despite, you know, and like, who claim it to be, like, a really moral thing to do, I roll my eyes at the concept. I'm like, okay, if you want public transport to get worse, how about don't pay for it? If you really dislike something, stop paying for that thing. It's a genius idea. Yeah, I roll my eyes at the concept. But yeah, at the same time, I would still probably say... Also, I've got way too much coal here. Also, it was great to see you, Kat. Thank you for showing up. At the same time, I would say, like, yeah, if you're out... Like, I don't think you should arrest people for it. I don't think you should, like, you know, like, go very, very heavily out of your way to make sure that people aren't. But when people are being, like, too over-the-top blatant about it and acting like they are in the moral right, it's like, okay, now something should be done about that. Like, if you're gonna do the immoral behavior, at least feel bad about it. I think when you don't even feel bad about it, that's when it's like, well, now the world has to make you feel bad. Because otherwise you're never gonna... I think genuinely, right, like, most people who shoplift do it one time. People who steal trains and people who get on trains without paying are very different criminals. No, it's the same. It's the same. It's the same thing, right? Because, like, ultimately, it's like, yeah, if you haven't actually taken away anything by getting on without paying, because the train still runs whether or not you are on it, which means the train still runs whether or not you pay for it in the short term. But it's also like, in the long run, it doesn't. And in the same way, a Discord community, if there's no rule against being a bit of an arse, it's like, well, so why not go and be a bit of an arse? I mean, you read the bylaws and nowhere in there does it say, don't be an arse. But at the same time, it's like, if you are bad on the internet, you make spaces less fun to be in. I've seen so many subreddits, like, turn against the point of the community. So that I get recommended this all the time. There's a YouTuber who he likes to go to like, really cheap hotels, and his subreddit hates him, chat. I only see it. I've stopped using Reddit's, like, auto sort algorithm because it just keeps recommending me communities that hate the people. Like, I don't know what this community is, but Mr. Tool Heights, I don't know what that is either. But I see these. The only time I see them, and all of their top posts are like, man, we hate this YouTuber. He used to be so much better. It's like, well, if you continuously turn against the reason for your community's existence, eventually you're not going to have a community. You might think, like, it's good to have a community based on hating a thing, but no one's going to go to, you know, like, this hasn't happened on my Discord, thankfully. But, like, you know, if you went to discord.gg/toycat and it was exclusively people who hate Toycat on there, it's like, well, then you wouldn't stay around. And you might think, like, oh, well, that's good, so we won't get new members. We'll have only the most dedicated Toycat haters here. It's like, well, like, is that a good thing to make friends with, really? Do you want hatred to be the reason for your community's existence? Because you probably shouldn't. The Scott the Woz community makes memes of Scott the Woz. Yeah, I feel like it's usually good-hearted, even if it's, like, sometimes, like, funny. Like, ha ha ha, he is lazy and spends all day at home playing video games. If it's, like, things the creator enjoys, it's great. But if you're, like... I see a lot of the times people, like, actively turn against and really despise their things. And it's like, yeah, it's probably an easy way to lose everything. So catching they'll ever bring back console edition? Nope. 0% chance. They might make it, like, a nostalgia, like, re-release of the last version way down the line. I think if they were smart, they would do something like that. But yeah, Minecraft doesn't really recognize old versions in the way that other games do. Okay, so crazy take, but I like that Toy Cat guy on YouTube. Yeah, I think that is a wild thing to... I totally... Like, if you want to make a Toy Cat... If you want to make a Reddit called Hating Toy Cat, I would actually be like... again, on my, like, principles of I don't like it, but you should be allowed to do it. Yeah. But I feel like on the principle of, like... I feel like if you are going to try and, like, hijack a regular community for that, it's, like, only ever going to go badly. Not that I'm saying you are Scoopsky Cat. It's great to see you here. I hate that IBX Toy Cat is being normal right now. I'm sorry for being too normal. Let's be less normal for a minute, chat. Okay. So I need a lot of jungle stairs for this house. That's for sure. I wish they'd give consoles the 1.14 update. Old console villages is such a pain. It's funny, someone in this chat was just saying they loved old villages, so it sounds like they could benefit from stealing the villages there. So I need a much better axe, I would say. So I'm going to be chopping down a lot of stuff here. So let's put in the iron now. And then let's also make the last piece of coppers that I need. So this, and then this. Okay, I love this about Java chat. You can do this, and you can quickly craft 2 things at one time. I'm a copper man with a wrong cape. Can you fix your cape while you're playing Minecraft? I'm going to go to my skins. I'm going to go to my, current. Edit. Okay, I'm changing my cape right now, chat. To the copper cape. Save and use. Okay, I saved my cape in the launcher. Will it adjust in the game automatically? I hope it would. But I don't know that it does. Apparently not. Okay, maybe it's when I next restart the game. Nope, you have to leave the game, then go back in. Ah, Java's terrible. You can't even change your cape skin. So, yeah, should I make a bucket? Or no, I'll make the axe first. I'll make myself an axe first. That seems... Actually, I'll use these to make sticks. That seems important to me. And then we'll make an axe. And we'll go chop down a bunch of jungle wood. Because I need a bunch of stairs. And thankfully, there's a bunch of jungle right here. Minecraft needs an overhaul to creative mode. That'll be on all platforms they're lacking. So, there's no Deathloop because he's playing normally. Exactly, we're just playing regular old Minecraft right now. So chat, to jump into something much less normal to talk about, because normal people complain about driving in the rain and not being able to see because their wipers are out. Normal people complain about how hard it is to get people together these days. My biggest complaint, honestly, chat, genuinely, this is a post-COVID thing to me. Everyone, like, maybe this is just, like, I only started wanting to meet people after COVID. Maybe I just didn't ever meet up with people before. If they said I'm busy, I would go, okay, well, that's great. Yeah, the worst thing to me, my least favorite character trait, if we're complaining about socialization, is, like, it feels like if you're really close with someone, you can be like, do you want to do something this week? And they'll be like, yeah. But if you're not, you got to be like, 3 weeks from now, would you like to do a thing? And they'll be like, I don't know, actually. Can we do 5 weeks from now? And then you got to be like, ooh, I don't know, actually. Can we do 7 weeks from now? And then you'll be like, okay, June 2026, we will go out for a coffee. And it's like, do we need to be so like that? And the answer is maybe we do. No, I don't think we do, but it's a crazy case in my opinion. I read a Wikipedia page on Skibidi Toilet State. It was pretty ridiculous. Oh, I saw Skibidi Toilet when I was in Costco. That's how mainstream it's become. Did you know there's a movie in the works? The lore is pretty crazy. I watched a decent amount of Skibidi Toilet, and I think it's like, I get it at least. It's not my like preferred form of entertainment, but like it's a good, you know, they're good at doing something that is ridiculous while also telling a story. I think there's like a, what you might call like a graph of like how engaging something is as a story versus how well can you actually create art or create a compelling story. And so a live stream is really, really easy to tell good stories in, you might say. Or maybe really bad, because you know, like if I want to tell you a really from the heart story, chat, it will take up 10 minutes of my live stream. And so the live stream isn't a vessel for the story. The story is one part of the wider live stream. A live stream is never focused on one point or one message. It's just kind of hanging out, and if there's anything in there, it's something else. Whereas, say, a 15-minute YouTube video is the perfect length to tell most stories in. If it's a complicated story. Or like a 3-minute YouTube video will tell most real stories to people who are interested. Like, I think a song is one of the hardest ways to convey a story or convey, you know, meaning, because you've not just got to make, you can't, you know, like, as much as, is it Taylor Swift sings about, you know, how bad her relationships are. She can sing about that, but at the same time, she needs to make sure that it's catchy enough that you go, yeah, I'm breaking up with my boyfriend, cause he leaves the toilet seat up, toilet seat up, toilet seat up. And you're like, whoa, yeah, that toilet seat up first. You know, you meant to enjoy it first and then enjoy the fact that it's about toilet seats second. Which is a surprisingly hard thing to do, I would imagine. Okay, I'm going to use this, and then I'm going to use this to make 32 sets of jungle stairs. That should be enough to finish our roof. Then we need some more cobblestone, and then we're good to go. That's a nice shirt, Toy Cat. Thank you, Jaden Ogden. I appreciate your kindness today. But yeah, I think that sorry for being sick, chat. I think it's like, I think it's gross when humans have bodies and then they recognize they have bodies in any way. It's the worst thing. But yeah, I think that there's this real like conflict between that and a YouTube short made in Gary's mod about a toilet head should be the worst medium to be able to tell a story in. You should not be able to get any meaning across while there's a toilet going jibbity-dub-dub-dub-dub-dub, skibbity-dub-dub-dub-dub, and then getting flushed down. But the fact that he managed to create any story, let alone one that actually has like all the beats of a major story, like something big is happening, there is lore to discover, you know, like because you know, actually, even though like an easy to tell story would be better, a lot of people like their stories to require a bit of work and digging. People don't want it to be all explained to them. They want it to be a little bit of like interpretation involved, because then you can, you know, turn it into a story for yourself. Isn't there a Skibbity Toilet DLC published in the marketplace? Allow me to use the Browse Add-ons button to show you. Chat, which one of these buttons is Browse Add-ons? I don't understand. Like, what's even the point of Java if you can't browse add-ons while you're playing the game? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna also, why is Toy Cat talking about Skibbity Toilet? It's a great piece of art. I think good art makes you question everything. So this has 9 attack damage too. Just a faster attack speed? That's really weird. That's really, really weird. I'll tell you what is weird, what is really, really weird. You can tell me what is weird. It's called Save and Quit to Title. Okay, so let's put in this. And let's go. But yeah, I think that art is a fascinating... Like, I don't know, like Chat, I really am... I come at art from this, like, confused angle of, like, I think that sometimes I produce things that accidentally fulfill some of the criteria of being art. But, like, never intentionally. And so, I think it's really interesting to create things that make people feel things. But it's also really hard to create things that make people feel things. Especially within the context of, say, a Minecraft news video. And then that's where the interest begins, in my opinion. Okay, so, hey, Toy Cat says Ohio Craft. Hello, Mr. Ohio Craft. I hope you're doing great today. So yeah, chat, something I've been thinking about recently. So I met a guy at the bar on Thursday night. He probably got me sick, actually. I bet he got sick and he goes out to bars and speaks to strangers. Like the monster is. It was actually a pub, just to be fair. So I was getting my drinks at this pub bar, and the guy's like, "Oh, so are you from around here?" And I'm like, "Look, it's Covent Garden. No one's from around here." And he's like, "Yeah, it's my work local." And it's like, "Well, so it's not your local then either, is it?" But sorry, I had a very productive conversation with the man. He was from Walthamstow. His name was John. Fake name, by the way, if I've ever heard one. But so I was speaking to John from Walthamstow, and he was like, You know, actually, you got me sick, and that's all that matters about John from Wolfenstein. I'm not gonna validate his terrible opinions here. But what I'm gonna say is, it got like while we were talking about how big of a city London is, because it was like, oh, you've only been here 3 years, man. There's so much you've got to do. And I was like, well, I lived on the outskirts of London before, and he's like, yeah, there's so much you've got to do in this city. Let me tell you, I've lived here for 10 years, and there's still so much. But it was like a realization that, like, even within just this one city, you know, there are thousands of cities on the earth, but, like, you know, there's hundreds of good cities on the earth. In the hundreds of in this one city, I feel like I would never actually see everything big. You know, there's so many individual parts of it, and there's kind of this like absurdism to it, because absurdism, you know, usually the way absurd humor works is when something is like really disproportionate to its surroundings. So like, you know, if you want to make an absurd car, put a really big person in the car, or make the car really tiny. A car is absurd because it is too small for the driver, or too small to be a car. And, you know, like an absurd can of Coke is one that would be too big or too small for its intended purpose, right? So I was thinking about it, and I think that life fits the definition of absurd. I think that this is like one of our most modern problems. I think we have a lot of modern problems, like the fact that, like, you know, so like it's really recently, like last 200 years, that we cracked the problem of not dying at like 35 in the fields, spending your entire life desperately trying to get enough calories to survive, and then maybe dying of dysentery or something awful. Like, most of human existence has been that, basically. And so it's incredible that we, like, cracked the code. Okay, chat, what should I make my floor out of in my beautiful new house? Anyway, so you shouldn't have been kissing him if you got sick. Look, if you don't kiss strangers at the bar, who will? That's my question. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to need, chat, is I need textures. And I need... Oh, I made the roof out of the logs when I should have made the roof out of something else. But yeah, we're going to start adding texture to the build now. So I'm going to smelt up some of my stone. I'm going to make an iron pickaxe, I guess, first. And I'm going to get a bunch of stone. I'm going to smelt it all up together. It's going to be great. Wooden plank floor. Yeah, I'm going to make a textured floor, chat. So it's going to be partially stairs, partially jungle, partially oak, partially savanna. People love themselves texture, so I'm going to use tons of it. Floor should be glass. Ooh. But then what's underneath the glass? That's the question. Floor should be a checkerboard pattern. That bee wants to live in the house so bad. Yeah, I'm letting the bee live in the house. He's totally fine with me. That's the way I see it. Trapdoors. Oh yeah, trapdoor. That's how you make a floor, chat. Oh yeah. Actually, more than a third of the world is having food problems. I guess, but even then, isn't that... I don't think it's... Okay, so... I think that a third of the world are having food problems is bad. It's like a very recent... We're kind of like reverting in a lot of ways. But a third of the world are having food problems. But that means that 2/3 aren't. Something that was the default state is now a crisis because a third of people are going through it. Crazy, in my opinion. But what's even crazier, I've got a lot of tools I need to smelt up or put away in a chest somewhere. So I'll make myself like a proper staircase down into this cave. I'll find the logical place to do that, and then I'll just start mining, and it'll be good. But, yeah, chat, I think that, like, in the last 200 years, we stopped dying super frequently. Diseases, like, you know, we stopped having to have 12 children just to ensure that maybe 2 or 3 of them would survive. We solved so many problems in the last couple hundred years that now life has gotten longer and also less, what you might call hand-to-mouth. You know, life is substantially more, much more of life is leisure time now. Much more of life is time to enjoy doing things, which is a huge improvement that we have made to the way that things are done. But as a result of that huge improvement that we have brought upon ourselves, you know, thankfully, we have the interesting, like, byproduct of now there is so much stuff that is invented for leisure. Because what do you do with your leisure time? Well, it depends on who you are and what it is you enjoy about leisure. Make copper lanterns. Oh, that's a fun idea, Dasher. That's a very fun idea. Okay, I'm going to replace this with granite because I'm not using granite anywhere. And then we'll just, or granite. I'll be a normal Minecraft player and I'll pronounce random words like I'm an idiot. So I'm gonna put my granite down. Sorry, if I'm calling you out in this stream chat, don't worry. It means that you are incorrect. You can learn. Everyone can learn. Oh, when creepers, he blew up one stone. That's very funny. So I'm gonna make a bunch of torches around here, including that. That should mostly solve my problem. Now we'll make the pathway back up a little bit like easier to spot, hopefully. So look at this, by the way. 1 axe hit, 2 axe hits. He's gone. He's gone, chat. So let's get back up. I don't know what you're saying. My Minecraft character's always starving, says Vegan Macarian. I'm sorry to hear your Minecraft character is starving. You should start an appeal. We should start donating food and money, maybe. We'll work out something. So I'll use some jungle stairs here, actually. I've got too many of these. And let's put, like, 1 over here. That's not the correct way, but it works. And then 1 over here. And then 1 over here. And then here. And then, you know what? It's good enough, right? It looks like a staircase. And so it is a staircase. I think and therefore a staircase. Pronouncing words in quirky ways is definitely a you thing, says Daisha. I have no idea what you mean by that, but I appreciate that you have an opinion, and I won't ban you from my chat for having it. But what I will say, hey, Jaqueline style, aka Jacqueline. I mean, it's definitely Jaqueline, right? Also, in agriculture, there's not much to do outside planting and harvesting times. They actually had a lot of free time. But I think first of all, I think that's kind of like, I guess, like, humans have always had some amount of, like, leisure time, to be clear. And also, farmers, I do feel like, have, like, very different lifestyles to most people, which is probably why we struggle so much with, like, yes, the way that things are meant to do is you go to a 9 to 5 every single day, besides 1 week a year, where you go on holiday somewhere, and then you work out entirely great. But, no, my point here was meant to be, okay, I really need to cook up some glass. I don't know why I'm doing the iron first. Got a big problem in my heart here. But yeah, it's good to see you, by the way, Darren Hughes. Hope you're doing wonderful. Also, thank you, McBella, 61 months. But, yeah, my point was, broadly meant to be that we have, like, we've invented so many new types of leisure because there is more leisure that is more, that exists in the world now than has existed before. At least there's more what you might call expensive leisure. It's either expensive in time or expensive in money. You know? There's a lot of... So, chat, I've got myself a bunch of planks. This is what my floor is going to be. I'm going to use these 3 blocks. Because the guide on the Minecraft website says you need texture. And so I'm going to texture my floor with these things. It's going to be beautiful. 9 to 5s are horrible and should be replaced. So I don't work a 9 to 5, but I work probably, like, in some weeks at least. I've been trying to push myself to work about 40 hours a week as a standard. It doesn't quite work all the time, but, you know, like, as someone who regularly works 8-hour days that aren't 9 to 5, let's put it that way. I would like to say, so second glass, there we go, we got spaces for stuff now. You think 9 to 5 is bad? I work 9 to 6 because lunch doesn't count. Working 9 to 6, what a way to make a lunching. Just don't take lunch then. Easy peasy. So we're gonna have a gradient of the woods. We can't just have them be randomly next to each other. So we'll start orange in this corner, and then we'll slowly phase out to, like, that in the middle, and then slowly phase out again. By the way, Ticket Tax! Thank you, McBella! Welcome. I hope you're doing wonderfully. I am very pleased to hear that you have been around for so long. Same with Haunted Insomnia, 93 months. Honestly, I almost forgot about these milestone things. Send a Toy Cat milestone reminder. You've got the lobster roll so many times over now. It's crazy. A lot of things that used to be necessary are now for leisure. Like, most crafting is just stuff we don't need to do for ourselves anymore. Yeah, it's funny. People will, like, blow glass as, like, a quirky activity, right? I think that is endlessly fascinating. that we do things deliberately. Like, it kind of shows there is this real desire for, like, doing stuff that is more interesting. The crazy hustle started the Industrial Revolution. Before that, humans generally had times to themselves. Okay, so I've heard this argument, and I agree with it to a certain extent. But the time to yourself. Okay, so I guess I come at life from like a city perspective. Like since I think that people who are people who are attracted to cities might have previously done 60, 70-hour weeks in the factory. And then at some point, there was a big transition away to the standard 9 to 5, which was a huge, like, decrease. You might argue from a historical perspective, it's an increase, because either farming and harvesting, or you might argue that, you know, like, humans just didn't do much productive work for anyone, and therefore there was no, you know, massive anything that came from that. I kind of see these arguments. I think they're pretty interesting. But the point, to try and, like, make a point and stick with it, rather than to get lost in the weeds here. So let's make ourselves a copper shovel, just because I think it'll be interesting. I don't think I want a copper shovel. I just like the idea of having a copper tool. This is probably my first copper shovel that I'm making, like, unironically. Which is good. So, yeah, let's remove all the dirt. And then let's make our house beautiful. So, actually, medieval peasants has lots of downtime, starving and such. We're not working on their traits. So anyway, I think that we have this like huge amount of time from at least people who live around other people and etc. etc. Right? So I think that huge burst of time has led to entire industries propping up of things to do in your spare time. Instead of it being the norm that you go to work and then you go home, or maybe you go to work and you go to a third place and you go home. Pubs have existed forever, right? But what used to be the norm has been kind of shifted into like, oh yeah, you go to work, you go home, you do your thing. But like, it's kind of a given that at some points during the year, outside of just like going once a year on a holiday, you do something fun and necessary. I'm loving the pause button. I'm glad you're loving it. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. That is your response. Okay, I'm going to make a bunch of slabs now. And then I'll replace this with those, and hopefully everything goes perfectly. Okay, but we're going to run out of this soon, and we're going to have to switch over to those blocks. So I want to make sure that we get it done relatively smoothly. So underneath these blocks, over to here, we'll just jungle plank, jungle plank, jungle, 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 jungle plank. Okay, just like that, and then we have oak slabs after that. So chat, I've made myself a gradient. I hope you like it. I hope this is wonderful. Yo, Toy Cat, can you pause the game? I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Okay, we're gonna pause the game until Noodle Man gets back. Okay, I've got a fun idea for a... I've got a really, really bad idea for a live stream, chat. Minecraft, but every time someone tips $1, I pause the game for 30 seconds. How long will it take me to beat Minecraft? I think this is a golden idea. I think this is an idea with no flaws, where nothing can go wrong. Pause button is why I stayed on Legacy Console Minecraft. Now I have no excuse not to switch to Bedrock. Yeah, I think pause is a huge game-changing feature. Have you thought of making Xbox 360 world in the small world size and filling the whole world up with builds? Like remove every block and make it from scratch? Yeah, that was always my... Well, not small, but classic. But that was always my plan with the Let's Play. I think that having a smaller area forces you to be more creative. Yep, that's perfect. Okay, chat, what do you think about my house? Do you like the gradient? Do you like it? You better like it. If you don't like it, I won't like you. I think we did a beautiful job here. Okay, now we're gonna go to the front, and we're gonna do a gradient out here too. People love gradients, so we're gonna remove these blocks, and we're gonna make them out of andesite. Yeah, gradient. It's crazy. Look at the gradients. Some of the blocks now are other blocks, and then we'll put like a block there, and then these blocks too, I think. Gradients. Oh yeah, I love me a gradient. And then just for craziness reasons, we'll go in here and grab our stone, and we'll put like this block and then these blocks will make them out of stone. Gradients, they're crazy. What can you do with them? It's a whole bunch is what. Oh, this build is quality now. It looked bad before, but now it looks beautiful. So it's about £100. The game pauses for 30 minutes. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what would I don't see what would be wrong with that. We would sit on the pause menu, and we would pontificate what the point of Minecraft streaming is. Yeah. Also, I think 100 times 30 seconds would be 30 seconds. You get 50 minutes for that, not 30 minutes for that. Not a bad hustle for Toycat. $1 donation pauses, $2 unpause. That's such a bad idea for a stream, but I actually kind of love that. I think before we get into the December craziness, we should do a pay-to-win stream. I try to make sure I only do them if I think it's going to be actually fun. If not for me, then for the viewers. And I do think it would be hilarious to have playing Minecraft, but you know, let's see how long it takes us if we can have the game be paused on us. Because you know, if you think about it, $1 for 30 seconds, that means I'd make $120 an hour to sit on the pause screen. That seems like a fair wage to me. You know, I would work an 8-hour day. I would work a 9 to 5 for $120 an hour. Should I make a shield? Yeah. Is it 120? It is 120 now. It's a great idea. The stream would just be a podcast, pretty much. Yeah, do you want me to stop playing Minecraft and start playing a podcast? Yeah, the title could be Pay Me Not to Play Minecraft. This is a really good idea. Thank you, Ohio Craft, for gifting some memberships. I don't think I want a shield. Also, free attack damage? The axe does 9. Chat, why would you ever use a spear on Java? The axe is just a better spear. Also, this bee lives here now. No, don't leave me. Don't leave. Aw, terrible. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna make myself some trapdoors. Normal people love putting trapdoors on their houses. Chat, this is what normal people love. This drives them crazy. They're like, oh my god, yeah, it's nuts. Do 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 do. Okay, I'm looking at the tutorial. We need pathways. People love a pathway that leads to their front door. And it's gonna go like slightly to the left, because if it's too straight, people don't like that. It's 2025, you can't be straight anymore. You gotta go a little bit bendy. Then we'll go and get some water, because we gotta have some plants, and we'll go get some flowers too. I haven't killed any. Oh, I've killed some skeletons. So I'll go and Can you bone meal flowers on Java? Whoa! What a terrible version of the game. But as a normie, I don't care about this stuff. I just care that it's the same Minecraft that my grandparents played on their laptop. Isn't it crazy? You could have grandparents that played Minecraft now, chat. Isn't that crazy? You could have grandparents that played Minecraft. It's true. Your grandparents... I play Minecraft in 2009. Quickly impregnate a 25-year-old consenting mother. Then that child grows up. We raise them to believe that family values are important. Age 13, they have a child. That's 2022. You, born in 2025, playing Minecraft. Your granddad played this game. Whoa. Okay, so I'm gonna put some copper lanterns around the house. I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be real fun. Let's just start with a couple, I guess, and we'll see where that takes us. Copper lantern, copper lantern. I need that chest that I just made, but it's fine. Chat, how do you make a copper lantern? I'll look through the recipes. Copper lanterns. That's regular lanterns. That's a torch. Copper lantern. You can't... They haven't added copper lanterns to Java yet. I guess maybe we make a copper torch first. Then we surround the copper torch with the nuggets. Ah, there we go. There we go. Don't subtly encourage the Java Bedrock discourse, Toycat. Whereas your granddad probably didn't play Bedrock. Unless your mother had you when you were 8 and you were literally 0 years old. Checkmate. Java is your granddad's Minecraft. Okay, so I think we could put, okay, I'm thinking the best way to do this, don't subtly encourage the Discord, Toycat. I have no idea what you were talking about there. If people talk about it, that is obviously of their own accord. What can I... Okay, so now we make some fence, but not that fence. That fence, there we go. Yeah, everyone loves a good acacia fence. So we'll take that, we'll put it over here. I'm going to go to sleep, of course, and we're good. Looking at the Java UI is gross. I don't like the chat on Java. I don't like the chat on any version of Minecraft, though. I think chat is just an ugly concept. Yeah, look at this chat. Oh, yeah. Oh, no offense, chat, by the way. I'm sorry for insulting chats out there. You are a beautiful chat that is immune from that discourse. And then we'll just put our jungle stairs there. There we go. And then we'll put on top of the jungle stairs. Do you think people in prison should be forced to play Minecraft? Yeah, they should. They should move boulders around for 12 hours a day. Instead of having auto farms, you should just hire a prisoner to move, like, to sit there with your wheat farm or whatever else. I think this is a good idea. I don't see any downsides to it. Vote Toycat. Okay, now we're going to take some of that dirt we got. And we're going to make a little water feature in front of my house on this side. We'll start it up here, actually. Yeah, we'll start it like this. And then we have to continue like this. This is tricky, actually. Yeah, we'll pour water there, and then it will like have to float here. There we go. Yeah, this is fine. And then it will flow down here. And then it will flow down here. And then I don't care where it goes after that. It's not my problem. Then we'll put some flowers down. Oh, yeah. Look at this, chat. I'm playing Minecraft like a normie, and it's beautifully. Chat, he just called us an ugly concept. It looks like you spilled Orange Crush in the corner. I think you misspelled, you made a beautiful build, and I love you, Toycat. Instead of world eat, you force prisoners to dig holes down to bedrock. This is a really good idea, chat. I don't see any downsides to it. So I think I want a stonecutter, because I'm going to make cobblestone stairs. Chat, what is the stonecutter recipe? Is it regular stone? It better not be regular stone. There it is. Oh, it's animated when it's in the window up there. That's an interesting decision. Then we'll put one over here. And then we'll make some stone stairs. Stone brick stairs, maybe? Screw it. Yeah. It's 2025. I'm a modern man with modern means. So we'll put some stairs over here. So this is called texture, chat. If you use random blocks that vaguely look like your other blocks, people will go, wow, that block, that looks like you're making a slow transition rather than a fast thing all at once. Toycat is like every other YouTuber, casually insults his audience, we all eat it up. I am insulting the average Minecraft viewer, and you are all beautiful individuals. Except you. You watching this right now, you are all of these mistakes all at once. So let's grab this water, take it away, and put it right over here. Not enough foliage to be normal. No, look, do you not see how many leaves I've got? Minecraft YouTubers love the leaves. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's a water feature if I've ever seen one. And then, so we still need to make sure that it doesn't go too far this way. And then we should make sure it ends in like a hole over here. So let's try that again now. Okay, chat. This is, I'm reading Minecraft.net. This is where all my advice is coming from. Next stream should be every tip makes me change the topic. Or I feel that would be tricky to enforce. I don't think people would actually like it, but I would like if people liked it. I would like if people wanted me to change the topic. Because I wanted to talk about how life is absurd, right? I wanted to talk about how we have so much to do now that life is absurd. There is so much to do in so little time. If you lived for 1,000 years, you would probably feel like you got your fill of it. Whereas like 100 years ago, you'd live 35 years, die, and be like, well, I guess that was all I could do besides father 5 more children. And it's
a
like,
normal person would put cobblestone in their path too.
okay, Charm 74, if you really like the idea of the cobblestone, here's my cobblestone block for the path. Here's another cobblestone. Oh yeah, isn't that good? Let's put some buttons in here too. Normies love the buttons, chat. Oh, I can't make a button. I'll make a wooden button instead. Normies go crazy for the button. Look at that button, chat. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that a beaut? Oh, it looks like there's texture on this house now. Let's go crazier, actually. Let's put 2 more buttons in. Let's put one, like, over there and one over there. Oh, yeah. Isn't this an absolute beaut? Yes, yes, it is. Now let's go to the back of the house, which is still casually missing some stuff. We've got enough glass to fill in all of these, which is great. I do need to put some cobblestone over there. And how are we going to climb to the roof of this? We don't have scaffolding. So instead, we're going to have to resort to, I guess, just a big chimney stack. Chat, you always need the chimney stack. Whether you think you need it or not, you do need it. And then we'll make this back wall here out of, I guess it probably should be oak planks still. So just fill that all up. Don't think about it too hard. Now let's go finish this front of the house. And the swearing. I never thought I'd hear Toy Cat say those words. Yeah, some people find swearing offensive, and I think those people are, you know, I want to make the joke, just say, you're a fucking idiots. But I'm not going to say it. I'm specifically not going to say that, because, you know, it's actually valid to be offended by swearing. I think that, even though it doesn't make sense to me, for some people it's like, yeah, the norms of society is that we all agree not to swear, and I don't like when people break that unilaterally on me. Oh yeah, chat, look at this beauty. Isn't it amazing how much is going on and how you can barely see anything that's happening? Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The only thing that can make it better is if we took our acacia wood, I guess, because we can't have regular doors. And we made ourselves 3 doors. We put one over here because it's orange, right? And then we'll put one over, like, here. And then one over there. There we go. Now we got a little villager cage, part of the house. So like a normal person, I'm going to put some furniture down now, chat. So this is my bedroom. I sleep by the stonecutter. We could put up a little wall, but I don't think I want to. Then we'll have a little bed for my dog. I don't have a dog, but my bee can sleep over here. And then this is going to be my crafting corner. This is beautiful. This is wonderful. But yeah, it's so wild people consider damn a swear. No one considers damn. Also, saying a swear, I think that's crazy. That's my hot take. Okay, I'm gonna move the bees inside the house. Fellas, you're going inside now. Great news. You're an inside bee now. And so I'm gonna actually use this to make this and this. Oh no, don't fly out. Don't fly out. Do I have to move their nest in here or something? Anyway, then we'll take this off the side. And, yeah, this is great, chat. This is really, really good. Put signs around the stonecutter to make a good nightstand. That sounds like a build hack, if I've ever heard of one. Then what we need to do, obviously, chat, is we need to have a bunch of, we need to have some little bonuses. So, like, people love, you know, like, this path I've made is really good. The cobblestone makes it better. How do I make it even better than that? Great question. I'm going to use the logical tool, the hoe, to have just a bit of farmland here or there. Ooh, you can farmland path them. Can you pathland farm? You can't. So look at this. Oh, it's beautiful. It's incredible. It's amazing. And we can put seeds in there. Oh, we could not. Chat, I played Minecraft like a normal person for an hour and a half. And honestly, it's really relaxing. You just say, what if I didn't have goals or dreams or ambitions? It's like how the most fun thing to do is sometimes, like, you know, hanging out with friends and doing fun stuff. Like, let's go to an escape room. Let's go to a theme park. Let's go to a restaurant. Sometimes that's fun. But sometimes it's fun to be like, how about we just go and sit down and chat? And that's what this was today. I think it'd be weird to go out and sit down at a table by yourself and stare at no one. which is maybe why podcasts in Minecraft are so successful. But I had some fun with this today, chat. I do feel that lingering resentment of, like, I could have spent an hour and a half adding something, like, valuable to a real world somewhere. But I got my little loaded up Minecraft, did a fun thing experience, and that was great. So again, one more apology for not doing skygloo today. I am having, like, the worst. My brain feels like it's too big for my skull right now. So I'm going to just immediately jump in a shower and have a good rest of the evening. I enjoy... Also, what house is this? The Toy Cats Let's Play house is so much better. Yeah, I should use the... I feel like there's a meme to be made in that. Standard Minecraft house, ugly. Toy Cats Let's Play house, beautiful, perfect. No, is this your new forever normal world? No, I'm never playing this world again. Because like regular Minecraft players, as much as I will claim I love making my house, the moment I'm done with it, I'm like, well, what now? The most fun thing to do would be to start a brand new world, and so that's what we'll do next time. More seriously, what I think we should actually do is, I think it might be fun to build something like this in... Oh yeah, look at these. I think it might be fun to, like, go to a new part of the Let's Play world to deliberately do weird stuff like this. But yeah, as far as what I think of this, it was some fun. I hope you enjoyed this one. And, yeah, I'll see you for the Let's Play tomorrow if you like seeing my real long-term world. Oh, yeah, I've shut my eyes and I don't want to reopen them, chat. They're so much more comfortable shut. Oh, yeah, it feels good. So I'll see you this week. Not Tuesday, Wednesday, for a live stream. And, yeah, I will probably do skygloo next weekend. And we'll come up with... Chat, what do you think about Minecraft, but you can make it harder? Or chat pays me not to play Minecraft? I feel like it's going to be one of those two ideas. I'll come up with it, I'll make it fun, and we'll do it this week. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Good night. Goodbye. It's beautiful.